Okay. Time for round 4. Ayohei. Still in contention for my first trophy, so now we're at the moment 7-1 in matches with 2 different decks. And yeah, this deck definitely has the chance to get there, as long as I draw my mana. And yeah, on the draw this hand's kind of slow, though I think it still has to be a keep. Because this on turn 4 stabilizes a lot of boards, and I still have a reasonable amount of early game to draw into. Yeah, I don't know. This on the play I would be happily keeping this every time. On the draw it can backfire depending on what my opponent does. But the format seemed to be kind of slow. Well, many people are playing like 2-mana 2/2s in the format for sure. Yeah, like that one. Which I think might be a mistake, because there's so much first striking going on that your 2-mana 2/2s can often not attack into your opponent's board all that well. There's many ways of abusing 2 toughness attackers when you have better defenders. Like here I get a Cyproling token worth of value out of the deal, though that's not a great deal, that's not what I mean when I say abuse it, but like Call the Cavalry makes 2 2/2s, so you can trade off against multiple of your opponent's full cards. And I think I'm willing to trade. Yeah, sure. And like all the first strikers just make it impossible for you to attack at all. Sure. I think I'm just running this out. I'm already kind of flooded, but my opponent seems to be playing this pretty aggressively. Yeah, I think it just has to be correct to run it out here. The Dark Bargain already provides me with some late game so that I don't just completely flood out if I run this out for no kicker, and like kicker is so far away. Yeah, just need the 4-5 minutes on the board. No. Mountain. Damn. That's not good for me. Can get the Mesa Unicorn down, but I think I need to Dark Bargain to find myself the red source so that I can start dealing with these. Either way, I'm in a pretty tough spot because I take 7 damage here down to 6. No, not down to 6. 7 damage down to 8, and then I go to 6 after the Dark Bargain. That's what I meant. So yeah, down to 6, kinda. And then I presumably kill the Serra Angel, and they attack me for 3 down to 3. That's pretty disgusting spot to be in. Alternatively, like Mesa Unicorn on the ground, but then they have a bigger creature. The lifelink doesn't even matter for me. Yeah, I think I do need to bargain. And I don't have any 1-drops that I can run out, as far as I remember, so no point really in doing it on my main phase, just keeping my opponent guessing here by doing it end of turn. And then I guess if I end up in a position where Dark Bargain leaves me dead on board, I would have to not cast it and have a natural draw of Mountain to be able to stabilize, like if they play another flyer here or something. Oh my god, you serious? Okay, this format just seems pretty insane because like everyone has unbeatable bombs. 4 cards entered the revealed zone. Wait, what? Exile if converted marks 4 or greater, repeat this process. What the hell? 1, 2, 3, 4. And what is this? Black to okay. That seems kind of medium. Well, you do get a 6/6, but you have to wait 2 turns for it. And then the tokens can be eaten up by the demon. Flying Trample. Yeah, it's probably alright. Yeah, then you just get like 12 damage worth of Flying Trampling, and it's probably a good card. But not like super insane. This is pretty decent. Yeah, I'm just super dead here. But this and then drawing 4 cards off of it, what the hell? What the hell? I mean, that was my draw, but I still end up dead, so... Holy moly. Yeah, I don't even have any way of punishing like flyers. Not even if I was splashing green, like there's just nothing. I just have to make sure that I draw my broken cards before my opponent and this divest. Maybe I should just be main decking divest, because the format is so bomb heavy and there's so many unbeatable creatures. What the hell? Especially like once you start off 2 or 3-0, then everyone's just on like mono unbeatables. Probably take this out, because my opponent does seem to be flying over for a pretty quick clock, pretty quickly. Then the second Dark Bargain like finds me more removal and helps me fix my mana a little bit. That was the idea at least. Maybe cut one of these if I'm too overloaded on 4 drops already. Unreal. No. I mean, the hand's pretty insane. If I was on the draw, I think I would keep it. On the play, like this, unbeatable if I ever get there, but I'm so far away. Double 2-drop is pretty nice though. To make this hand work, I think it's like barely a mulligan. Oh god. I think this is like barely a keep, but pretty unhappy with the result. Going to be difficult to beat my opponent's deck with this type of hand. I don't even have double white available. Well, I think I still have to keep it and just hope well, that helps a little bit, but it doesn't really fit the curve. Well, depending on whether I need to eviscerate something on turn 4 or not. Kind of reliant on drawing like the 4-5 menace on turn 4, something that just clutters my 4-drop slot even more, but something similar to that. Something of high power level to make up for the hand that I'm well, just mono 4-drops for the time being, but at least that means I can beat some of my opponent's bombs. What is that? I have not seen that one yet. Sergeant at Arms. And just a battlefield. Okay, so a 2-3 that can bring some tokens with it if you kick it. Sure. Seems a lot better kicked than it does seem unkicked, but well, I guess it's better than not doing anything on turn 3. Kind of both sides of it seem pretty mediocre. But 3 bodies for 6 mana is not that bad. 3 mana 2-3 is filler level mediocre. And that one's a lot better. Knight of Malice divest. Yeah, all of those seem alright. Let me just take the cheaper options and hope to recur this Lingering Phantom later on. Just kill my opponent's creature and divest their hand, I think. Or maybe I just run out the Knight and divest. Let me look at the hand first and then I'll see about that. But likely I just kill the flyer first. Maybe I do that. Well, that's a little bit less efficient if I trade one of my knights for this instead of just blanking there. What the hell? Each opponent sacrifice a creature for 5 and okay. Yeah, all of these are pretty sick. Man, this format is so insane. Just mono bombs, because everyone gets bombs at uncommon. Like, this is an uncommon, this is also an uncommon. Both of them are pretty sick. I guess this one's like a little bit less sick. Pretty unhappy about my opponent skin witching me in 2 turns, but especially in combination with this discarding a card for me. Probably have to take this away and just deal with this with a spot removal spell. I guess this just runs into the knight, so that's alright with me. And then I have to make tokens though, so that the Eldest Reborn doesn't eat up my knight. And let's take the Skin Witch. And exile this. Could backfire on me if my opponent draws an even better creature, but I don't really want them to recur the flyer with the Eldest Reborn. If they get like a Sergeant of Arms or a Caligo Skin Witch back, then that's alright with me. But them getting like a flyer back for 0 mana on their own turn, as the chapter 3 seems pretty difficult to deal with. Okay, so this Knight of Malice should be super good here, because I keep it alive through the Edict with the extra tokens lying around, and then it blocks both of my opponent's creatures profitably on the board with First Strike. Well, I guess it doesn't, because of this Blessing of Belsenok. Yeah, maybe I'm still in trouble. God damn it. What? I guess I just double block, and then if they Blessing, they trade for both. No, I guess that's bad for me as well. God damn it. Because, like, if they Blessing, I lose both of my tokens. They lose their Sergeant, but I lose my Knight to the Eldest Reborn. Yeah, I think I just have to take it here. Because of the Blessing, but I think they could have attacked with this as well. No, then I just double block with the Knights on the Arvard. Okay, that's pretty decent. Yeah, especially because I'm getting this Phantom back. I think I want to hold on to the Swamp so I can use it for the discard mode of Eldest Reborn. Still not that easy for me to play around the Blessing of Belsenok here with my First Striker. I guess if there's all these First Strikers, then combat tricks actually do become better from time to time. Because, like, my opponent's entire board is blocked by this. But if they have this combat trick, then it's already not the case, even if it only adds 1 toughness, which is kind of low for a combat trick of this sort. Okay, so that's their last card in hand. What? Wait, what? No, that doesn't work, opponent. +2/+1. This is... I can just block here, right? Am I missing something? If I block here, they can +2/+1, and it's a 3 toughness, and I have 3 power First Striker. Yeah, I think they're just punting. I did that already today, multiple times, just punting by not reading the cards. I think they just, like, forgot how their combat tricks works, or forgot that my guy has 3 power as a First Striker instead of 2. I don't know, like, these types of mistakes happen in the pre-release. Okay, now I kind of like my spot. Oh, this even gets back the Lingering Phantom as well. That's pretty sick. Because it's also historic. Still holding the Swamp for the discard here. And then this is likely grabbing me the second mountain. Yeah, they no longer have any profitable attacks into my Phantom. That's good later on. I guess they can like trade off here, but I don't really mind because I'm getting it back anyways. Yeah, sure. That eats up the Eldest Reborn mode, but I don't really mind. Because it's like free value for me. It's slow, but it's free. And if it's free, it's for me. So this is their last card in hand currently, which I'm alright with. If I ever get 2 mana for this, it should be unbeatable. My board position right now is pretty dominating. My Lingering Phantom can come back multiple times, so really like my spot here. And I have like an answer for it. No, come on, don't do multiple cards, please. Okay, that's fine. I was gonna say I have like an answer for a Serra Angel. This is kind of the same principle, a flyer that I really have to kill. I guess I had an answer. I was gonna say this also answers Serra Angel now, but it kinda doesn't as long as my opponent still has this Blessing of Bells enough to protect it. If I can deal 4 damage to it, they can still give it the 1 extra toughness and keep the Angel alive. But we'll see, maybe I can get the Blessing out of my opponent's hand at some point. This is going to work out amazing for me actually. Because there are 2 cards at these 2. I have no idea. Yeah, probably they have to do this. This second attack seems pretty medium though. They pump here and then I shift and fire, and then their guy still dies to my first strike, so that's why it's amazing. Because it has 4 toughness now, but like takes 5 damage of first strike and then goes away without taking my knight. Wait, they're not casting this? Or is that not how it works? Exile card from top of your library, then put into your hand if the card... Right? Oh no, they do put your card in their hand, regardless of whether it's 4 or more. So this should be in their hand. I have no idea why they didn't cast it. Not that it really changes much, but was just correct to cast it. Okay, so that worked a lot better. I do need to line up my removal spells to my opponents like Belsenok and Serra Angel, though all their like Saga based card advantage is going to be difficult to deal with as well. Still like this Divest quite a lot. My Trapper is pretty mediocre. I think I want to cut some of these, but I don't have many alternatives to like 2 toughness creatures that get hosted by my opponent's Call the Cavalry. I guess I can board my second Call the Cavalry back into my deck. Or maybe I do want the Excavation Elephant Partic Wanderer package. Then I'm like making my curve even higher, which is not great. Maybe it is actually. It's possible I should just be running like 18 lands and doing that Dirtle package. Because I have like so much unbeatable kicker stuff going on. Like this at 9 mana is great, this at 10 mana is great. But I'm not certain which 2 spells I would cut to go back up to 18 lands. Probably just have to run 17. And like probably no elephant. Maybe this is just better than the Partic Wanderer. It's pretty unreliable, but in the best case it's insane. Yeah, I guess it just has the much higher upside. If my opponent just kills some of my legendary creatures and I stick like one of these guys, it can be a huge blowout. So we have early game on lockdown with our Knight of Menace, which should just be great. Just completely dominates any attempt of ground white creatures attacking me. Even the Trapper cannot tap it down. Okay, no 2-drop though. It's actually pretty good for my opponent that they didn't have a 2-drop, because it would have likely just gotten outclassed by the Knight. But Knight also goes well with the Quende, because it actually just attacks for 6 at that point. Quende both offers the extra color and gives a double strike, which is pretty sick. Though I guess it still only trades 1/1 for my opponent's Call the Cavalry. No, it trades for both of the tokens, but it still gets taken off of the board and a 1-for-1 basis against the card. Okay, that seems great. My opponent might even end up in a position that is defensive enough that they need to trade their Aven Sentry for my Mesa Unicorn, which they really want to avoid. I would assume they want to avoid it, but doing nothing on turn 2 and turn 3 and then playing a pretty underwhelming blocker on turn 4. It's obviously not supposed to be a blocker. You want to be attacking with this and have other creatures take over the defense. But they're just in a bad position here in terms of racing. So might be forced to trade off. Okay, they're not willing to trade off. That makes their racing position even worse, because this is lifelinking. It's difficult to race against like 2 double strikers and a lifelinker, even if you have evasion. But if they have a good way of dealing with the board here... well, that was another reason for them to trade. Because then... if they make the trade, I have to give up one of the 2 double strikers. Seems pretty strange to not make that trade if you have Eldest Reborn in your hand. Am I still winning? Yes. I went 4-1 in my first league, and now I'm 3-0 in my second league. Well, I think Mana Screw is a possibility. Also, I played against a pool that might have been better the previous round, though I did win there as well. Why would you keep this back now? That makes no sense, because neither of the blocks are good for you. You're just jump blocking at that point. I mean, they might have to jump block, but I think my opponent really threw this game away by not blocking the Mesa Unicorn. If you block the Mesa Unicorn, you actually kill one of these 2 creatures with the Eldest Reborn, and then I end up on the same board. Okay. Yeah, that was just a huge punt. They might have top decked this and not thought about it. But yeah, if you make the trade, then I lose one of these 2, and they basically end up in the exact same position that they're in now, except they have killed one of these 2 for free. That was very favorable to me that they didn't.